Testing. Nope, that didn't work. Did it work? It did work. Hello. Welcome. No one has patience these days. It's immediately, as soon as the clock hits 3 p.m., y'all are like, you're late. You're late. Yes, I'm running very late today to today's stream, and we don't even have any music, but welcome to Streamer News. Today, we have, well, a few things to talk about. The list for today's video, or stream, rather, because, you know, it's not pre-recorded, wink wink, got a little long. We're going to start, as we usually do, with a good chunk of Twitch-specific topics, but then we have some topics relating to YouTube live streaming, a couple streamers who have gone different directions and things like that. And of course, we're going to talk about the FTC and COPPA things. I want to mention a couple Black Friday deals. It was requested that I talk about Black Friday sales, but I'm not the one to come to for that. I don't have the time to really, you know, put all this together in time for this kind of thing. But welcome to Streamer News, your bi-weekly show where we talk about all things related to news for streamers, be it Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, Facebook, IRL, anything. That's what we talk about here. But we're specifically starting off with some Twitch topics. Of course, you have the chat over on the left. Feel free to get your questions in. Top questions will be asked answered via the order that they come in for super chats, of course. And I believe YouTube has just rolled out, which we'll talk about, super stickers, which are pretty cool. So feel free to use those, I guess. I've never tested those, so that could be a first. And we're going to start getting into some topics because we need to just knock some of these off the list before we go too far. Stay hydrated, kids. All right, anyway. All right, so let's jump into some Twitch topics, shall we?
Right through.
Alrighty. Oh, I did want to mention, by the way, that we do not have a community game night tomorrow. We've been doing them every Saturday following a Streamer News. However, we're not doing that this week just so everybody has a break for the holidays, so we'll be getting into that after the holiday has passed. We'll have check the Twitter and the Discord announcement section for more Discord community game nights when that comes. So first and foremost, Twitch has introduced a new feature that is rolling out to partners immediately and then affiliates in 2020 called Emote Rewards for Bits. And this is basically a way for partners to get more emote slots on their Twitch channel without needing more subs, because basically you can set up dedicated emote slots for people who have donated 1,000 bits, 5,000 bits, 10,000 bits, 25,000, 50,000, 75,000, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, etc. It kind of scales as it goes. And you get all of these different emote slots that you're available to use. And any viewer who, you know, I think it's called cheer, cheers you for that many bits. These names are ridiculous, guys. Anybody who cheers you for that many bits will now unlock that emote to be able to use across all of Twitch as if they were subscribed to you, even if they're not sub to you. And these do not have to be the same as your sub emotes. So that allows you to kind of, you know, get some extra emote slots without specifically needing subs, which is pretty cool. Again, it's rolling out immediately for partners only, but they're saying that it will roll out to affiliates as well sometime in early 2020. And partners who are in good standing will automatically have their emotes approved, so you can immediately get rolling on that, which is pretty freaking cool. Getting more, you know, customization and emote options in there is always, you know, exciting. And I'm glad to see that Twitch, it seems like over the past few months, Twitch seems to have these bursts where they'll like go quiet and not introduce, you know, any new features or, you know, things that partners or streamers want for like months on end. And then they'll have a few months back to back to back where they will just have new feature after new feature after new feature. And we are currently in one of those phases. So pretty cool to see there. They also just introduced the politics category, which holy crap, when I originally put this doc together, there was only one stream in the politics category, and there is now 6, although one of them appears to be watching the chill hop music, so maybe that's not actually politics. But previously there was a politics tag for the just chatting category. They have since removed that tag and made it its own dedicated platform. We did mention in a previous episode of Streamer News that we saw more and more politicians actually making Twitch accounts to simulcast their, you know, events or rallies or big speeches or whatever. And so clearly Twitch is adapting and making sure that politics has its own place on Twitch, which is cool, I guess. I'm sure there's always the people of, you know, keep my politics out of live streaming, but having it in its own section so you don't pull up Counter-Strike and see a political stream is, I guess, good for people. We got more details about the Twitch watch parties. I also mentioned this in a previous episode of Streamer News. Twitch and Amazon have put their ideas together to create watch parties for streaming Amazon movies and TV shows. And so over on Creator Hype, they do have a list of all currently, or at least at launch, currently available movies and TV shows. So you have Biker Boys, District 9, Iron Man 2, Kick-Ass, Mission Impossible, a bunch of movies, a bunch of TV shows that you can watch. However, this does require the viewers and the creators to be in the United States and to have an active Amazon Prime account. And it will not show you as live, like you will not be discoverable as being live on the platform in any way, shape, or form, unfortunately. So you will have a custom watch party URL, which you can then share out in your chat and on your page. And then above your video viewer page, you will actually get a banner that says, streamer is currently on a watch party. Would you like to subscribe and join that? However, all monetization features are removed. So that's cheers, subscribes, ads, clips, VODs, raids, squad streams, anything like that. All the normal Twitch features are gone. It is purely just, oh, and you can't even stream with like music or your voice or webcam overlaid. You can only chat. So basically it's only streaming from Amazon Prime to you and to the viewers, which helps get around some of the probably, the copyright issues that probably came up when Twitch wanted to do this. Is you're not actually streaming this content yourself. It's just going to you and the viewers via Amazon Prime, and you're chatting in chat, which is going to disappoint some people. Some people wanted to be able to stream like this with their face cam and their overlays and things like that. All of that will be disabled. So that is something worth mentioning, I guess. People are still going to love it. People still want to be able to do this kind of thing, but I do see a lot of these limitations kind of being counterintuitive to what people actually want. Hang on a second. My cat is chewing on a cable. Stop that. Hey. Bad. Twitch also introduced something else here. Note to my moderators. Oh my God, Ollie. He just climbed on my microphone. I wish that was on camera. Jesus. We're doing it live, folks. Twitch has also introduced gifting subs being able to be regifted to other people. So if you want to pay it forward, if someone gifts you a sub to someone's channel, you can actually just either thank them and gift a sub back to them, or you can gift it forward and say, okay, I don't need the sub, let me gift it to someone else. And so you see the example here. Twitch Scar is paying forward the gift they got from Deluxia to Prince Falcon 123, and you can just keep, passing along the sub, I guess, which is just kind of a cool way to build up that viewer interaction and just to keep, the gift giving, so to speak, for this holiday season going. Pretty cool, because a lot of the times, you might be gifted a sub and know that you're not really going to utilize it, and you can kind of pass it forward to other people. So pretty cool, I guess. Moving forward, we talked about in a previous, wow, this is off center. That's fine. We talked about in a previous Streamer News episode that Twitch had hired the head of marketing from Zynga, who did like Farmville and things like that, to head up some of their monetization and marketing practices. They have just hired ex-NASCAR exec Lou Garate, I don't know how you say that. He's from NASCAR as head of their sponsorship sales. So clearly they are really beefing up their monetization, branding, marketing, outreach, and also internally, bringing that money back into streamers' staff, because they're hiring people in multiple directions who are known for doing good things for different companies towards helping both the platform and streamers. So I really believe that 2020 and 2021 are going to be a very interesting time for this, to see a big change for Twitch. They just did a whole branding revamp right before TwitchCon. I think we're going to see a lot more emphasis be poised. I don't know what word I was going for there, for Twitch trying to make, more money and grow itself, which is really interesting, because you've seen a lot of competition come up, and we'll talk about more of that after the break in this episode of, a lot of big streamers have been getting poached to Mixer or Facebook or YouTube. And so Twitch is really trying to market themselves more to the viewers at the moment, it seems, than necessarily the streamers. But head of sponsorship sales would mean that they're also sponsoring streamers with this and, trying to reinvest in the streamers as well, which is always pretty cool to see. We got two more bits of Twitch news going here. I'm trying to just kind of steamroll through them because they're not super important bits of news, but lots of it regardless. Pay Money Wubby who made the It's True, the video series about the angelic cult, the little family that were doing culty kind of things. He did a live stream date with his chat in a restaurant and got banned in the middle of it. Now, he claims that he had full permission from the manager of the restaurant in order to do this. However, people in the subreddit were saying that he had openly admitted that he lied about the premise in order to establish, approval by the manager to stream from the restaurant, and kept telling people that he was developing an AI and instead, was streaming from a restaurant and got banned or got his stream shut down and suspended as a result of it. Which just kind of goes to show, again, streaming from public places, as much as IRL streaming is kind of cool, streaming from certain public places is against Twitch's terms of service. Is generally not a good idea. And people were saying that he was showing other people in the restaurant as well. So I don't know that we're going to see him get unbanned specifically for this issue. But I don't know. There's always pull in both directions with regards to Twitch's enforcement of the rules. And I see a lot of people getting mad about this, but also this is one of those situations where you should probably know that you're not supposed to be doing it. You should probably know, but it could go either way. Super shout out to Amani Mar. I hope I said that correctly. I love your channel. Watching you help me build my streaming setup. Glad it's been helpful. If you have any questions about building your streaming setup, join us over at EposBox.com/Discord, where you can ask us questions and get feedback on your setup and things like that to get hello, cat. You get answers to your questions. My cats are just set on interrupting today's stream. Oh, all right. Gray Arya says wait, so we're gonna do that. We're waiting. What are we waiting for? I'm waiting. Nothing's happening. Oh, cats are making more noise. They are not drinking vodka, though. They are not drinking vodka. I did also want to lastly mention here, for the coverage of the Twitch-specific topics, that the Twitch Studio Beta has released to public beta. So if you've been wanting to check it out for yourself, it is available to download. I have it linked in the description of my own video, twitch.tv/broadcast/studio. I don't have that linked in my show doc. I will add it, however. But I have a full video detailing everything you need to know about it, how it compares to OBS, why you shouldn't really directly compare it to OBS, and, how to use it, how to set it up, how to use advanced layouts and things like that, such as from our sponsor Owned, and a whole lot of information in that video. Instead of making like a multiple, episode masterclass, you can make, you can consume it in one smaller mini class, I guess, so to speak. Wait for it. I love how far behind YouTube's chat is. I can enable a low latency mode, but that messes with the DVR capabilities, so I generally try not to do that. I kind of steamrolled through those quicker than I expected. We have a lot of other topics, so before we get to the break, let's talk about some Black Friday deals. Again, I don't have a ton here, so I won't have a ton to offer you, but if I've pulled up a couple here, Elgato specifically is actually detailing for every single country on Reddit. They have a thread detailing all the deals that they have coming up. So here in the US, let me see if I can zoom in on that a little bit for you. Reddit's layout is really dumb. Stream Deck on Amazon, $99. This is the normal 15-key one from November 29th to December 2nd. The Mini will be $70. The XL will be $200. I believe it's normally $250. The green screen, the mountable one, not the self-standing one, will be $110. The normal self-standing green screen will be $130. It's usually $150, I want to say. The Camlink 4K will be $99. Great value for a capture card. Works on Linux, works on Mac. If you have a splitter, it can be used with consoles as well, as long as the consoles are only outing 4K 30 Hz or down to 1080p 60. Still great value for a 1080p 60 card. HD60s, $120. I guess that's not the plus. Is that the normal HD60s? Yeah, so the previous generation HD60s, not the new one I just reviewed. The 4K 60 Pro Mark II down to $200. Crazy value for a 4K capture card. Elgato Keylight, $150. Still a little pricey, but that's much better. That is closer to what I thought it was supposed to be at launch. My cat is once again climbing on things that he's not supposed to. What if we cut over here? Oh, he's taking a bath. We can't show that. Right through. Over at Best Buy, they have the Stream Deck for 99 bucks, Stream Deck XL for 200 bucks. I'm just making sure these prices match up. Camlink 4K for 100 bucks and HD60S for 120 bucks as well. So if you're at Best Buy or Amazon, you can get both. And yeah, they got similar deals for Canada, Switzerland. Switzerland is much smaller. Austria, Poland, Netherlands, Nordics, France, Spain, Italy, United Kingdom, Australia, Japan, Germany. It seems to be all of them. The Verge actually has a good article here with a list of a bunch of already announced Black Friday deals. So they got some graphics cards on sale, 340 bucks for 5700 XT, not too bad. 180 bucks RX 590, 460 for a 2070 amp Extreme Core. I would go with the Super if you're going to get a 2070. Lots of storage is going to be on sale for all of Black Friday and Cyber Monday, so keep that in mind. CPUs, second gen Ryzen is going to be on a fire sale this Black Friday. Like, they're going to be trying to get rid of those as much as possible, so definitely check those out. I usually recommend avoiding first gen Ryzen stuff. I would say Threadripper's probably going to be on sale too. Second gen and first gen are probably going to be on a fire sale because of the availability of third gen. However, if they're not on sale, I would actually hold off on buying second gen or first gen, I guess, but first gen's a little late. But I would hold off on buying second gen Threadripper if you've been waiting on a sale to invest in it. If they're not on crazy sales for Black Friday and Cyber Monday yet because third gen hasn't actually released yet, because usually, you want the new thing to release, give it a little bit, and then you really pump out sales on the old gen. If that's not, I would wait for those sales, because once third gen is really coming out, second gen is going to really drop in price. So keep that in mind. Memory is going to be back on sale. Thankfully, pricing has normalized, but power supplies, due to tariffs, have been incredibly expensive. And so this would be a good time to pick you up a power supply if you've been waiting on a sale for that. General peripherals and things like that. I had a question over here that I am going to pull up the answer to if I can pull up the YouTube studio, because that's not working out. What if I do this? Here we go. Someone asked, how can EposBox manage to stream in 4K? Is that some black magic or something? How am I doing that? Well, if YouTube Studio ever loads here, I have a whole video detailing everything that you need to know about live streaming in 4K. Go check that out. And then there was also an article here, if I drag it to the right browser tab, about Logitech's Black Friday deals. They have a lot of stuff coming up. They're going to have more than this. But this will probably, although no sales have mentioned it, this will probably be a pretty good time to pick up a Logitech webcam if you've been waiting to pick up a webcam for your stream for yourself as well. No details on sales on that yet. It's still a little too early for that stuff to start really coming out yet, but this is probably gonna, they're always on sale. You can usually get them. I'm gonna estimate you could get a C920 for 40 bucks or less on Friday or Cyber Monday. May not happen. That's my estimate. CJ Watson with the super chat. Thanks. Your videos are always informative. Your super chats are always informative by letting people know that my videos are informative. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go to an ad break really quick here so I can prepare some unboxings for you guys. So let's hear a word from one of our video's sponsors. Streamer News is brought to you by Owned. Owned provides everything you need to build your streaming brand, from individual stream assets and overlays to full revamp packages covering not just your stream, but your YouTube channel and social media as well, custom avatars, and more. They can even set you up with a full website for your brand with matching graphics, web hosting, setup, a free subdomain, and regular backups. Heck, they can even provide desktop wallpapers to match your brand so that your branding whenever your screen is shown is always on point as well. Check out Owned over at eposbox.gg/OWN3D or the link in the video description, and check out their Halloween sale to save any more. Thanks to Owned for sponsoring Streamer News. But 2 new Mon mics in town. Say what? The Mon Mic USB makes your dreams come true. Clean, consistent USB power, premium analog to digital conversion, high quality preamp, new unidirectional capsule from the Mod Mic Wireless, and an omnidirectional capsule with the dual microphone capability, a smooth, sweet digital mute switch, all in a USB connection. there's a first time for everything. USB? And for those unafraid of analog connections, the Mod Mic Uni houses the new unidirectional mic capsule with noise cancellation, RF shielding, and a godlike signal-to-noise ratio in a convenient 3.5mm analog form factor, and a new mute switch. Pick yours up today at antlionaudio.com or the link in the video description. You can mod my mic any day. Alrighty. I had a question from Slicko Mode who asked, do you think AverMedia will release a new capture card product line anytime soon? No, but yes, because they've been teasing. They showed it at CES last year, and hopefully they'll show it at CES 2020, which I will most likely be at, by the way, so be prepared for some CES coverage. They showed off their Thunderbolt 3 capture card concept that they've been working on. I would estimate that it's coming out in 2020. I don't know for certain, but I would say that it's probably going to come out in 2020, so you can be looking forward to that. Obviously, that's not something everybody can use. As far as capture cards that everybody can use, I honestly don't know if they're going to come out with any of them, because you've seen Elgato coming out with a bunch of capture cards recently, but all of the capture cards Elgato have come out with were capture cards that that AverMedia already had competitors to back in 2018. So AverMedia already had the market pretty much covered with regards to all your options. I think it would be a little bit redundant, and AverMedia already has a lot of ridiculous redundancy when it comes to their capture cards. I think it would be a little bit, it would be pretty redundant to come out with something else, because there isn't anything new that they can really do. They may surprise me. I don't know. I don't actually have any information on that, but it is certainly possible. So we've got a stack of packages to open today for the EposBox segment. I'm going to open these two envelopes first. They are from Amazon. I don't actually know what they are. I technically ordered them, but I don't know what they are. And I will show, if you want to send stuff over, you can send to P.O. Box 459, Jeffersonville, Indiana, 47131, or my Amazon wishlist at eposbox.com/wishlist. We will have a baby list coming soon. We're finally finishing it up. We've just been ridiculously busy, so we have not finished it up yet. But I will have that released publicly very soon. Didn't look like Elgato had any upcoming deals on the multi-mount. Do you know of any alternatives? I do not, because Elgato's multi-mount is actually the only product of its category that does what the multi-mount does with regards to the desk clamping and stuff, which is what makes it so special. And I have my review coming out on it probably next week. It's already been filmed and up for early access people over on Floatplane, so you'll probably see that next week. But it is pretty much the only one that does that. So no, I don't know of any competitors. Nice beard, EposBox. Thank you, Careless TV. Let's get into our first package here. This is probably not going to be exciting. The two boxes I have will be exciting. Of all the things, we have some Arctic MX4 thermal compound. In case you were unaware, you will be seeing more information about AverMedia's Threadripper 3000 CPUs on Monday, November 25th. I kept running out of thermal compound for my testing, so I needed to order more. Stay subscribed, because we're going to be having those videos soon. Subscribe. Alright, and then I think I know what this other one is then. Well, that's uneventful. These are Cat 7 Ethernet cables. I think it's ridiculous at this point. It is cheaper for me to buy Cat 7 Ethernet cables than Cat 5e or Cat 6. I need some more Ethernet to run for 10 gigabit since I'm moving things to RJ45 a little bit instead of SFP+. And while Cat 5e at short lengths can do 10 gigabit, it is genuinely cheaper for me to just go on and get Cat 7 anyway, so woo! Alright, we got two boxes here. One of them was sent by you guys, but one of them was sent by AverMedia, since we were just talking about them. I need my knife back. My cat's still oh, buddy, are you okay? My cat got hit by my knife. Come on, bud. Back up. Go on. Go on. Alright, so this one, speaking of AverMedia Threadripper, not so much. Whee! Alright. Apparently I can't unbox anything. Speaking of Cat 7, here's Cat 2. Will you let me do my stream now? Will you let me stream? Ow, 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 ow. We have new units for the Live Gamer Ultra and the Live Gamer 4K. I'm going to be including them in my retro streaming setup video, which is coming very soon. I have an entire dedicated bedroom towards my game collection and my Twitch streaming setup, and it is freaking amazing. And these were kind of the final pieces of the puzzle. That video is coming very soon. I was supposed to shoot it this week, and I just have not had time with all the Threadripper testing. So I will be having that video very soon. It is super exciting. I really can't wait for you guys to see it. And these capture cards will be filling it in. I requested some more for them because I basically need two. I need to start telling companies that when they send capture cards, I basically need two because I need like redundant setups. And in this case, I need a capture card to actually use, but then I need them for testing. So like I need to be able to do my testing and my benchmarking with the Live Gamer 4K, but that's separate from my need to actually use it. And I can't just like keep pulling it out of my existing streaming setups in order to test them. That creates a lot of problems. And so I basically need every capture card company to send me two of each capture card, which is kind of ridiculous, but it's working out. All right, last package for the unboxing, and we will get back to the streamer news. We have one sent by one of our super subscribers or super squad members over at Discord, Cujo. Sent this over to my P.O. box, which I will show off again. I don't actually know what's in this one. Where in the US can you get fiber optic internet? In lots of densely populated places. I'm in the middle of southern Indiana and I have fiber internet. Holy crap. There's a lot of stuff in there. GameStop recently had clearance, and so he picked me up some clearance stuff. Holy cow. We have here a Black Ops 4 shirt. Heck yeah. I have shirts from almost every Call of Duty except for some of my favorites, like the original Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, or World at War. I have like Ghosts and Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3 from GameStop, because I used to work at GameStop, so I have some of those shirts. But I don't have like the original ones. But this is keeping up the trend going and making sure I have one for all of the new ones, which is pretty cool. And then we have a pretty sick little Kingdom Hearts shirt. I really like the print on this. And I love the texture and the grayish bluish color. Sweet. Thank you, Cujo. And then lastly, we have here... Oh, speaking of Modern Warfare. That's awesome. I was just talking about it. So this is for the new Modern Warfare. Camouflage drink bottle. And it contains some socks, it looks like. How do I open this? There we go. I now have Modern Warfare socks. So I can be a real gamer guy. That is actually pretty cool. So super shout out to Cujo, who's one of our stream moderators and moderators over on Discord, and one of our Super Squad members, because he just does so freaking dang much. Thank you for sending that over. If you want to send stuff yourself, as always, you can send over to P.O. Box 459, Jeffersonville, Indiana, 47131. EposBox.com/wishlist is my general, just like toys and work-related wish list. Not like life stuff. I don't put that on wish lists. It's just basically luxury stuff for me or extra stuff for work for me to like test or review. And then we'll have the baby registry stuff coming in the next week or two. Let's get on to the next round of topics in just a moment.
This is the alert system with Visa MasterCard account services with important changes to your account before the next billing cycle. Congratulations on your excellent payment history. You now qualify for a 0% interest rate on all your credit card accounts. This This is a limited time offer and you must respond immediately. Press 9 now to our qualification department and complete the enrollment process. Press 9 now.
We're going to talk about the FTC in this stream. But when is the FCC gonna crack down on this robocalling? It's getting ridiculous. Thank you for the congratulations, John Wieland. Zim Gameplay asked if I ever did specifically a YouTube streaming tutorial. I covered some of the thoughts on it in my OBS masterclass, but otherwise it's not really any different than any other streaming platform. So send them as high as a bitrate as you can and you're good for the most part. I've never had any issues with it. All right, let's jump into round 2 of topics. Right through. Alrighty. Oh, I already mentioned that. So, YouTube Gaming and YouTube Live specifically is actually getting some updates. They are making the YouTube live streams for gaming streams a little bit easier to discover, which is pretty cool. They have a whole YouTube Gaming category, and they will be featuring more prominently some of the YouTube Gaming live streams so that they're easier to find. There have been a lot of complaints after YouTube Gaming as an app went away and they combined it all back into YouTube. A lot of people have complained that then suddenly live streams for gaming on YouTube have become very hard to find. They are working to kind of bridge that gap from not being its own app and still integrated into the core thing, but still being easier to find. Also, specifically for YouTube live streams, YouTube has just introduced super stickers for live streams. These super stickers are kind of like super chats in a live stream, which we have had a couple here. Feel free to add your questions into your own. Wink, wink. Haha. And the super stickers should actually already be live. Let me go ahead and see if I have them enabled. Maybe I needed to manually enable them. That would be hilarious. I just want to check for my own knowledge. Because you go to monetization. I have it shown here. Monetization, supers. And then you can enable them. I do have them enabled. Oh, disable super stickers. That's a confusing button. Their UI is really broken for that. I need to send them some feedback. Anyway, so super stickers are basically like these little stickers, kind of like on Facebook and Snapchat and stories that would appear that you can send to a live stream to basically have your message stand out as a super chat instead of a normal super chat. They're enabling this. But what is hilarious is that this is my blog post for TubeBuddy, by the way. I write about a lot of YouTube updates and YouTube news over on blog.tubebuddy.com, which our mods are linking in the chat. So, you can go check out my post there. But what is hilarious is with all of the backlash against the COPPA changes and the FTC ruling and stuff, this video is getting a lot of backlash because one might argue that a bunch of cartoony, childish stickers are made for kids. And you can't monetize content made for kids, not with those kinds of features. Just a hilarious note because, that's very kid-friendly and you're not supposed to be using for kid, that stuff on kids' content. Also, there was a metric crap ton of updates released at the start of the month while I was pretty sick and behind and unable to keep up with the blog post. Thank you for the $2, Jeffrey Harding. Oh, with the super sticker. It's got the little Chiba dancing around. See, there's an example of one. I don't think that's going to show up on the stream, though. That's annoying. I'm sorry. You can see it in chat, though, for those of you watching right now. Actually, I can switch to just chatting. Oh, it did show up. It only shows up as a super chat, but you can see the sticker over in the chat window. I'm assuming, so they said that alert services will still support it because it comes through as a normal alert, but alert services may need to adapt to actually pull the sticker that's being shown, because for now it's just going to show up as a super chat, but hopefully we'll get there. You never know. Right through. But yeah, while I was away and sick, they did release a ton of updates for YouTube itself. Bringing up some cool information to real-time analytics that will be releasing soon. They have this little card that will show up and tell you, how many copyright strikes you have on the channel, what you need to do about them, where they are. And then they have new channel memberships comment featuring, where it kind of puts their comments above everybody else's comments on a video for memberships. They have new Teespring integrations coming with championship merch. You can now tag other channels in the title of your own video. And then they talked about the P-scores drama because all of that was pretty much dumb. You can now finally view what videos have copyright claims in the YouTube Studio Beta because LOL, the YouTube Studio Beta is no longer called the YouTube Studio Beta. It's now the YouTube Studio because it's no longer beta. Quote, 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 quote. But also, they discussed when they were talking about the P-score stuff that the algorithm, the search and discovery system, is for the most part completely unrelated to the advertising system. And the advertising system is where all those P-score numbers, where people were thinking that channels were being ranked, had to do. But what they did was basically confirm that yes, if your video has limited or no ads, it's seen as mature content. And the algorithm, the search and discovery system, is less likely to recommend your video to people who are traditionally not watching videos that would be seen as mature. You know, people who don't watch other videos like that, your mature rated video is not going to be recommended to those viewers as often. But it shows that yes, limited or no ads videos are less likely to get recommended, but it's by nature of them containing mature content and not because they're not running ads, which is what I've been saying for a long time, but I finally got to get like a final word, so to speak, out on that issue. You can read more about it on the TubeBuddy blog post linked in the video description. Real quick, someone keeps asking what I think about the Cybertruck. It looks like something out of a PS1 game. Moving on. Next topic. AnneMunition is now partnered with Red Bull. As far as I know, she's only the second streamer partnered with Red Bull. The first, of course, being Ninja. She had this whole cool video announcing it kind of like in the Rainbow Six Siege style. Of course, the video is not going to play for me now. There it is. Where they were having it run around like a little Rainbow Six Siege drone, which is freaking amazing. Following her around, trying to, analyze and things like that. Pretty cool. She was teasing a big announcement. Everyone kept assuming that she was going to be leaving Twitch for Mixer, but nope. She's just partnered with Red Bull to bring some big sponsorships, and as far as everyone can tell, she's not leaving Twitch anytime soon, which is really cool stuff. Glad to see more streamers lock in these kind of bigger brand deals, and I hope to see more of that happen in the future. Good on her. We've worked together at least by proxy in the Intel Streamers Bootcamp, but pretty cool. All right, moving on. There is a new streaming service, which I'm actually pretty excited for, called LightStream, who's been advertising a lot for specifically IRL streaming, which is in real life streaming, streaming on the go, as they offer a service where you can send in all of your, basically your mobile feed or whatever you're streaming on the go for IRL streaming, but do so while still adding your alerts and your location and chat and things like that over top to support both for Twitch, for your own custom browser experience. You have disconnect protection with Auto BRB, so if it loses your signal, it has a screen that comes up that keeps your stream live instead of kicking your stream offline. It has some remote control capabilities, so you can keep controlling it from your phone, mix and control sources, things like that, so that you don't need a computer for it. For 720p 30 up to 3 hours, it will be free. If you want to go up to 720p 60 FPS, which does not seem like much of a quality bump, for up to a 12-hour stream, auto go live features, go live without the actual desktop app going, and disconnect protection, it will be $99 a month, which is kind of pricey, but for a lot of events and people doing things like that, it will be worth it for some. I'm not endorsing this, this isn't like a sponsored spot. I'm not endorsing this service. I haven't tested it myself yet, but it is a pretty cool looking service. And actually someone in chat just said, I've used LightStream. It's kind of good. It's like OBS on Chrome. It seemed pretty good. I get asked a lot about these alternative services all the time. It seems like something worth talking about at some point. So I might as well mention it here because I saw a lot of people talking about it recently specifically. So that's pretty cool. There's been a little bit of YouTube drama. Oh, that's the LightStream tweet. Specifically with Markiplier's stream. He was doing a game stream where he was having his chat vote on what he does in the stream by sending colored paddles. And those viewers were getting flagged as basically spamming chat, and their accounts were getting suspended or terminated. Only it went further than that, in that it wasn't just their YouTube, like they weren't getting banned from chatting on his YouTube stream. Their entire Google account was getting shut down for some reason. It's very bizarre. He has a whole video on it. You can watch yourself. He details what's been going on. He's very frustrated, as are anyone else involved. And YouTube's response was that, where is it? They were like, yeah, we fixed this. And he's like, no, you didn't. They're still getting banned. And why are their entire Google accounts get banned? And see, here's the weird thing. Like, yes, if someone is flagged for spam, it makes sense that either their chatting capabilities or their entire YouTube account would get suspended while they figure that out. That's fairly normal. Disabling their entire Google account as a result of their action on YouTube is not okay in any way, shape, or form. And this is a problem that arises from so many of us relying on a single company and a single account location, a centralized account, for all of our resources, for our email, for our calendar, for our news, for our commenting, for our sign into other sites, for our freaking phones that run Google services that you have to sign into Google for. This is a problem, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more with the FTC COPPA stuff, but this is becoming more of a problem because YouTube is carving out more and more ways for them to disable your entire Google account. And this is extreme enough that other streamers are starting to say that they're just not going to stream on YouTube because of this risk. They can't risk their viewers losing their entire Google account as a result of this, and I understand that desire. Like, that sounds absurd. And it's also to the extent that I'm actually going to start taking steps to completely separate my my YouTube account stuff from my normal Google account as much as possible. It's difficult to transition an account over without ruining everything. But I'm going to start, inquiring with my partner manager to see how far I can separate my normal Google account and my YouTube channel, because especially with the FTC stuff, like, I can't just lose everything. Like, that would end someone's entire online life in an instant. And that's not okay. It's really not okay. And they really need to sort this out fast. And there needs to be a lot more backlash against their updated terms of service, which say that they can just end your entire Google account out of nowhere. Nothing about that is okay. It's pretty frustrating. Ow, 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 ow. Switching topics here to a completely different note. Optic, or he used to be Optic, but Courage. It was announced a couple weeks ago that he was switching from Twitch, not to Mixer, to YouTube, which, people have left Twitch or YouTube for Facebook, and people have been leaving Twitch for Mixer, but he was one of the first big names, and then Lachlan YT was another one, who have been leaving from Twitch to YouTube, and Fwiz have specifically stated that they're investing a lot more into on-platform creators to lock in their live streaming experience, so that they will be streaming exclusively on YouTube, so that they can also stay competitive within this live streaming scene, which is really cool to see. I hope that they, continue along this path and keep getting people locking in here, assuming they fixed the streaming issue where they keep banning people's Google accounts. Because on one hand, I'm like, yeah, YouTube needs to compete on the live field. Seeing, locking people down and paying people more to live stream on your platform is a good idea. And I'm like, hey, YouTube, I stream on YouTube and Twitch. If you want to give me that money, we can keep streaming here. Wink, wink. But not if they're going to be deleting viewers' Google accounts. There's such a back and forth pool of like, yeah, you're doing a good thing from this team, but this team's doing really bad stuff. Google is just too big for its own good at this point. Speaking of another company that might be too big for its own good, Adobe is actually building live streaming into their Creative Cloud apps. And I saw this in one of the Creative Cloud 2020 updates, and I didn't have time to look into it yet, and I didn't really understand it. But they're basically building with users who are whitelisted, because it's currently in beta testing, for an app, for a service called Adobe Fresco. Users can now start streaming their Adobe apps directly to certain platforms. If I can get my tab back here. And they talk about it working on Twitch and YouTube, although previously people have only been streaming to Behance specifically, but you get features like every action you take and every tools that you make, every tools that you use being integrated into the viewing experience on Behance, so that they know every step you take, which is really freaking cool and is really good for tutorials and educational content. And it actually makes me kind of curious if I should do some tutorials that way, because I've already been looking into, I covered in my OBS plugins video, a tool to show all the hotkeys and things like that I show them on screen visually. Well, this is just a very next step for that, which would make live streaming kind of educational, tutorial-y content a lot more nicely presented. So that is pretty cool to see, and I will be following this very closely. I don't have access to it at the moment, but I will be following it closely to see, how this rolls out, because I'm very interested. Ollie's back. Cats refuse to let me stream, apparently. Oh, my frame rate got kind of funky there. Hello! That was weird. My talking head was dropping frames. All right, we have the last topic for today's video, which we're going to go ahead and jump in. I apparently don't have tabs open for this for some bizarre reason. All YouTubers need to make some changes to their YouTube account to comply with COPPA, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. Some new rules were put into place in 2013. No, Google was ignoring them. A lawsuit was made by the FTC against Google and settled in April. Well, it started in April 2018 and then settled recently. and there is now a tool in the YouTube dashboard where you have to indicate whether your entire channel or specific videos might be made for kids. So for example, I have a whole channel that I used to run that was dedicated to Pokemon card unboxings. Even though I probably cussed in those videos would count as being made for kids, and so I had to log into that old account and mark them all as made for kids. And I have some of those videos on this channel that I'll have to go back and flag eventually, but currently I've just flagged all of my videos as not made for kids. There's been a lot of drama, and I've seen some other creators who are outright saying that they're going to delete certain videos because they think it's wrong to mark their videos as made for kids. And I want to try to clear up some of this stuff. So you have two options with this rule. The point of the rule is that Google has been tracking data of children's accounts of watching videos, and this was against the rules. And originally the FTC thought it was fine, and then an advocacy group, basically explained it in a way that made the FTC think it's not fine, and they sued them. Google paid $170 million and had to immediately, this was the fastest turnaround on any feature they've introduced these changes, which also holds the creators responsible as well. So you have two options. Either your video is made for kids or it's not made for kids. If you say it's not made for kids, that means that children, your main audience, the main target, the main interested party in your viewer, in your content, is not children. Even if you're cussing, even if you're an adult, even if, you think your audience is mainly adults, if it could be seen that all of your content is children, then that needs to be flagged as made for kids. Otherwise, you can say not made for kids. But if you say it's not made for kids and thus retain all of the features, the FTC can actually come sue you for up to nearly $43,000 per video in violation of that rule. Now, if you say it's for kids, which you should do if you think it is, because that's legal compliance, then you end up losing a lot of features. You lose end screens, comments, tracking data, ability to add the video to playlists. If your whole channel is made for kids, then you lose the community tab, stories, other communication tools, and you lose personalized ads, which will basically cost you 90% of your revenue pretty much. So there is no winning here, because if you lie about it, you will potentially be sued for a lot of money, and if YouTube detects that you're consistently lying about it, they will enforce rules on you in the first place. But also, if you're telling the truth and your video falls under that category, then you're losing a whole lot of stuff. And this is in very, contradictory to all of the cracking down that we talked about earlier on mature content, where that's less likely to get recommended and less likely to earn money. But this isn't directly YouTube's responsibility, but at the same time, YouTube is sort of to blame, because the agreement that they've worked out is with the FTC is that YouTube is basically not being held, they were already sued. They were already, settled. They already had to pay a lot of money and introduce this, but they have determined that they will no longer be responsible for this, and they will be holding individual creators responsible for this. And the FTC themselves has said that they will start going after individual creators if they are not doing things correctly. Now, you actually have up until December 10th, I want to say, to leave a comment over on the regulations.gov site saying, why you think this is wrong. Be polite, of course, and basically advocating against this, because it is a very big problem. But not only that, people were noting before this change came about, and there's actually a good video here by...
I'm a lawyer.
Okay, well, this video is by a lawyer guy. He's branding himself as the social media lawyer. This breaks down a lot of the consequences and some good stuff involved with that. But there is a good video here by Daryl Eves, who talks about how all the terms of service changes affects this, because the terms of service were also getting changed right before these changes were introduced. And the terms of service now say that as a creator, you are now individually legally responsible for all content you submit to their service. YouTube has no obligation to host or serve your content to anyone. And YouTube, at their sole discretion, they can be the only person who decides, can delete your entire Google account if they decide you're not commercially viable anymore. Basically, if the FTC is coming after them or after you. And so there is a lot to that, and this is really big and honestly really scary for a lot of people. What's up, Podcastage? What's up, Andrew? How's it going? Thank you for stopping by the stream. So there is a lot coming into play where basically YouTube and Google have set up behind the scenes that they are no longer responsible for you, so that if the FTC says, hey, this is bad, well, Google can say, not our problem. We can either terminate the account or you can sue them. And assuming this law doesn't fall apart, assuming, hang on. Someone, the thing is, COPPA doesn't state that videos have to be marked. The lawsuit that YouTube settled says YouTube has enforced that. Yes, which is an FTC ruling as a result. That COPPA says that YouTube can't track this stuff. So in order for YouTube not to track this stuff, you have to follow this rule. But yeah, this is a lot of really scary stuff and a real big problem. But there's also a video that Hunter has been linking in the chat here that has me curious, because one of the things the FTC keeps saying is that they're going to do massive sweeps of YouTube to catch all the people who aren't marking their videos appropriately. So I want to pose a question. And no, Nerdy Rodent says not monetized, I'm perfectly safe. That is not true whatsoever. And I will get to that in a moment. But the FTC is saying that they will do massive sweeps of YouTube in order to find all the videos that aren't, doing it right and either enforce the rules or sue them. I want to know how the FTC is doing this, because the FCC at least said that they were unable to read all of the comments in regards to net neutrality, and so they assumed they were bots because they couldn't crawl through them all. And YouTube itself has admitted many times that they can't crawl through all the videos themselves, which is why they rely so heavily on automation and on spot checking and things like that. If YouTube doesn't have the logistical capabilities to, catch every single video, how is the FTC going to have the manpower to sweep every single video and determine this? So there's one of the videos that was linked by Hunter is from Video Game Storytime. Here we go. And basically, I really think that the entire ruling here is doomed to fail, because logistically, it doesn't work out. Suing individuals is not going to get them very far, even just making an example out of it. I really think this is going to fall apart. And I really think that we're going to see this kind of collapse. But you really should be sending at the regulations.gov website as many messages as possible talking about why this is a problem and how it might affect them. I wanted to address a couple things people have said. It's yet to be seen if the FTC can sue creators since COPPA doesn't require this. The FTC has literally said this themselves. They have said they will go after YouTube and individual creators. They have said that the actual FTC has said this many times. Specifically, I forgot where it was. Where was it? No, not all. You do not have to be based in the U.S. to follow this, because YouTube is based in the U.S., and so you will have to follow YouTube's rules anyway, but similar things to COPPA exist everywhere. So regardless of where you are, you still have to follow the rules. Nerdy Rodent said he's perfectly safe, or they're perfectly safe because they're not monetized. This doesn't have to do with monetization. It has to do with data tracking and comments and likes and playlist capabilities. You still have to mark your videos even if they're not monetized. You are not safe just because you're not monetizing. And then there was another question I was going to address. Where is it at? Am I supposed to go through literally all 300 of my videos and mark them all? No. As covered in my TubeBuddy blog post, there is an option where you can apply it channel-wide. You only need to do per video if there's something that goes away from what your whole channel is. I have this all covered in the TubeBuddy blog post, which Hunter has been linking and will be linked in the video description once the VOD is up. Someone asked if I can post this onto YouTube. Yes, I post this onto YouTube every time after the video or after the stream is over. So this is always, Streamer News is posted every other week after I live stream. I'll just switch over here to chat so I can answer some of the other questions. If I say a soft bad word at the beginning of the videos and mark as not for kids, this will keep me out of it. No! And this is another problem with the thing, is that it is so vague as to what qualifies for made for kids that no one knows what to do and no one can know what to do. But from the explanation given by both YouTube and the FTC, even if you cuss in the video, if the subject of the video itself is appealing to children, or even just visually appealing to children, you still have to mark it as for kids. So cussing does not protect you. Gaming videos, unboxing videos, goofy entertainment videos. Do you think, this is actually one I wanted to cover as well. Podcastage asks, I think it's only a matter of time before other sites get hit. Do you think Twitch, Mixer, etc. will get hit? Yes, if the FTC sticks to their guns, if this law stays, if this ruling and settlement stays into effect, they will start enforcing it on other websites. YouTube is the big example of the easiest way to make an example of a website and crack down on this because it's YouTube. But this is based on the 2013 adjustment to COPPA, and it should be affecting all sites, and streaming sites definitely aren't following these rules either. So if they find any sort of success with this, enforcement onto YouTube, then it will hit Twitch, it will hit Mixer, it will hit Amazon, it will hit literally everyone. And so you're going to start seeing massive changes across all content platforms if this doesn't fall apart. So if I don't know, it's really rough. Can we appeal or fight the possible fine? Yeah, if you want to take it to court with the FTC. I don't got the money for that. I don't have the money to pay it either, but you get the idea. Like, you would have to fight it in court. You would need a lawyer to fight on your behalf. It gets insanely expensive and time consuming. And again, this content isn't dying or going away immediately, but it is losing its biggest stream of revenue, and it's losing a lot of YouTube features. Someone says, I think it's not all evil because the ElsaGate scandal is still ongoing. This doesn't affect ElsaGate whatsoever. Like, it will take away the revenue potentially, but it is not filtering the content off YouTube. That's still YouTube's job to filter that kind of dangerous content off YouTube, regardless of COPPA. So, yeah. But yeah, lawsuits by definition are something you can fight and defend yourself. Don't streaming platforms like Twitch and Mixer require you to be at least 13 years old to have an account? So does YouTube. And that was YouTube's defense from 2013 to 2018. They said, hey, YouTube is only for people 13 years and older, which is not a child. Therefore, we're following the rules, and the FTC bought it up until 2018, where a child advocacy group said, hey, look at all these hours upon hours of content that has been consumed by people who are not 13 or older. And it was realized that in 2016, 73% of kids aged 8 to 11 were consuming YouTube for X amount of hours per week as their primary source of entertainment. And at 12 years old, it was even more. It was like 86% of kids. And so there's really, saying that you have to be 13 years or older to have an account does not actually fix it, unfortunately, because that was YouTube's defense. So I've had a couple more questions here on this subject before we finish up today's stream. That was all of the topics I had going for today. Just scrolling through the chat here just to see what's going on. YouTube should be 18 plus by default. Again, it doesn't matter what age they require you to make an account. When the content is publicly accessible without an account, which is kind of required for YouTube's sustainability, that's how it's always been successful, then you can't guarantee what age people are watching your account. Because they've always said that it's 13 plus, because that's the age required for an account, but that's no longer holding up. But yes, by definition, if you're being sued, you have the option to defend yourself. As you say there, using profanity doesn't protect you. What if your games are higher age ratings? That is still a difficult topic. No one knows. No one knows the answer to that, because M-rated games are still consumed by kids. There is still plenty. Disney XD streams M-rated games and teen-rated games on their. They stream YouTubers playing those games, just censored, on their channels. It's still considered for kids at that point. Now, when you do apply on a per video basis for the for kids versus not for kids, they have a new option for age rating your game, and no one knows how that affects COPPA or that ruling. No one knows how that is supposed to be there, so I don't really know what's going on with that. Glenn James says it's up to the parents to control their kids, not the FTC. That is completely irrelevant. It's not about controlling what your kids watch. It's about collecting data on kids, which Google has been doing through YouTube. Parents can't control that. The FTC, it's actually their job to control that. Like, as evil and wrong as I might be saying this ruling is, that specific part of it is the FTC's job. As a parent, you can't just say, oh, YouTube isn't collecting data on my kids because I say so. Doesn't work that way. They do have YouTube Kids. That was their workaround. But children, the issue is that you can't force all children to only watch videos on YouTube Kids. So it doesn't work. They should make it 18 plus to create an account. I already addressed that. Doesn't matter. You can watch YouTube without creating an account, therefore irrelevant. That's the problem. That was their defense up until 2018. Again, I'm not defending this by any stretch. I think it's a massive problem. I think it needs to be dismantled and an entirely different approach be developed for this, because this is not the way to go. I don't think this is the way to go whatsoever. And this is going to hurt literally everybody on the platform unless they find a better way to go about it. But yeah. Commercial viability will not delete your account even if it's not making money. It refers to out-of-date features and services that do not make money. Annotations is one example. That is not at all what the terms of service says. The terms of service says that Google reserves the right to terminate your Google account and access to their service if your account is no longer commercially viable. That has nothing to do with using annotations whatsoever. That is not what that says. Period. No one knows exactly what they mean, because, being commercially viable could mean, okay, are you posting too many videos that is getting them into trouble with the FTC? Or are you just not making them enough money? Or are you breaking too many rules or leeching from their services with ad block? There is a lot of interpretations, but they do specifically say they can remove your Google account and your access to services. That is what it says, word for word. Almost. Parents can force their kids to use YouTube Kids, though. They have protections in place. I agree. That should be what the rule is. That should be the expectation, is that parents expect that, enforce that. But that's apparently not good enough for the FTC, which doesn't make any sense. Because as Podcastage asked, that does mean that this ruling needs to. And honestly, someone could argue that it needs to go into effect on every website at once, or it doesn't make any sense because it's ineffective. But YouTube themselves have clarified this. Not really. Not for that section. It literally, the words say they reserve the right to terminate your Google account if your Google account is not commercially viable. And it is a new change in relation to all of these other changes where they're saying we have the right here to delete your Google account. We have the right here to delete your Google account. We have the right here to delete your Google account. At no point would that even make sense to have to do with outdated features. That's not even the context of what that was brought up. Is this heading towards everyone getting verified ID access to the net like China? Yeah, that's what it seems like. I don't think we're actually going to get there, but what else is the solution? I don't know. YouTube's Kids is Android only, is it? Kids.youtube.com. I would have assumed it was just a website. Watch now. Wow, watch on the web. No, there is a watch. It's YouTubeKids.com. You can watch on the web. I'm not going to sign it. Oh, I done messed up my chat. I'm a kid. Okay, you have to set it up as a parent, but you can watch in the browser. It's on Android and it's on iOS. So I've totally screwed up my chat now. There we go. But yeah, that wraps up today's stream, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Streamer News. Yeah, I mean, this is a rephrase of something that was said before, and I was saying that when everyone was freaking out on Twitter about it. I was already saying that, but it's still outdated services. The context of that doesn't make any sense. So, does the FTC only affect the internet, or does it also? It affects everything. It affects everything, not just the TV and internet, or not just the internet. But the TV and radio aren't collecting personalized data on you. That's the thing, is COPPA specifically is online only because it's the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. But all right, guys, thanks so much for watching this episode of Streamer News. Be sure to subscribe for more stream guides and streaming related content. Go check out all the links and things like that. Go join us on Discord, EposBox.com/Discord. And I will see you next time. Someone asked, do you know that Twitch have shut down your stream there? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not streaming on Twitch at the moment, but my account is still up. I can pull that up right now. Twitch.tv/EposBox. My channel is still right there. It has not been shut down. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one.